resistance is futile.
Boldly going where no show has gone before. This is The Week in Geek with David D. Squared, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. Broadcasting from the Gregory Ricks and Associates Wealth Management Studios, here's D. Squared.
Greetings, people of Earth! This is The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I am your host, D Squared. All right, let me lay out the show for you real quick. We got two guests. Last week, we had to bump old Sam J. Jones, Flash Gordon approaching, but we got him tonight. His new movie, An Unlikely Angel, is streaming now on PureFlix, so we'll catch up with old Flash Gordon himself later on. But then we got another guest, Brian Moreno. He's a comedian over there in Los Angeles, but he's also now he's done a bunch of stuff for Funny or Die. He did the whole Ancient Aliens, but a funny thing. But he's got this new mockumentary, kind of a la This Is Spinal Tap. It's called Dreamland: A Storming Area 51 Story. If you did not use Internet Explorer, you might have known about a thing called the storming of Area 51, where everybody went out there like, yeah, we can outrun their bullets. Let's see them aliens. So Brian Moreno actually went out there guerrilla style and did not even know what he was going to be making when he went out there. He just had a dream and a camera, and he made it all happen. So that's all on tonight's show. But first, let's do this. And now, your top nerd news stories from around the world, brought to you by the Viridian Tea Company. Find them on Etsy. And now, your top nerd news stories. All right, before we kick this off, Scungy, how you doing over there, buddy? You all right, man? You know, the Saints lost. We're not doing too well.
I'm a little depressed.
Yeah.
I'm a little depressed, but you know what? It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
We'll get through it. But look, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, though, man. Look, last week, D23 Expo, kind of, they took over the airwaves. They really took over the world, but they pooped all over our beloved Star Trek franchise because the Star Trek Day was on the same day as the Disney Plus Day. I don't know why. I don't know who programmed this stuff, but look, as much as I love Star Trek,
got fired.
Yeah, Look, I love Star Trek, but you can't go against the king of Star Wars and the House of the Mouse. You are not going to win. So, a week later, we are getting to some of the stuff that was brought to us from Paramount Plus and their streaming partner. And so, look, they got a new third and final season of Picard coming out, Scungy, and I'm really excited about it because it's got everybody. Take a listen to this. They got weird aliens in this one.
This message is for Admiral Jean-Luc Picard. We need your help.
Help us, Locutus.
I need to find a ship.
I need to find a ship. He's sitting at a table across from Riker, and all I could think about was didn't like Kirk do this one time? He's like, we need to get a ship. It just seems a little I don't know, like maybe played out, but let's keep going.
We need to find a ship.
There's Riker.
No, I can't ask you to put yourself in danger. Since when?
I love Riker. He's the best.
Jean-Luc, wherever you go, we go.
I will follow him.
Hello, beautiful.
He's not talking to a chick. He's actually talking to a ship.
Permission to come aboard, Commander.
7 of 9.
Granted, sirs.
7 of 9.
Why don't you do us the honor, Commander?
She steals his line.
Engage.
Boldly going for one final season. Picard, February 16th, streaming on Paramount Plus. Dude, and all the gang's all here, man. You got Michael Dorn as Worf. You got
Worf is back.
Oh my God, dude! Everybody's back, and like even Wesley, not Beverly Crusher shows up. So like, my God, dude! Like I'm excited about this, and honestly, I was really kind of nervous after season 2 because. God, he's getting old, man. Picard's getting up there in age, and if they're doing it, they gotta, send him out for the bang. And this looks so far, it looks pretty damn sweet.
Well, look, man. I mean, Patrick Stewart might be getting up in age, but that man doesn't quit. I mean,
No.
That man is doing everything. I mean, I wish I had the energy that dude had.
I wish I had his paycheck. Shoot, man, but
yeah, that too.
But no, it does sort of smack of like, when they were they took that ship to go, for the search for Spock, I think that's the movie it was. Yeah. So, but I don't know. This looks really good. And Picard the second season, like the whole Borg Queen and Q thing, it seemed, I don't know, like it was good. Don't get me wrong, but it seemed like they were just rehashing stuff just for the sake of, hey, remember this? We know you love this. Here it is again. And so, I don't know. I mean, maybe
not. Maybe they were just trying to wrap everything up in a bow. I mean, it was kind of everything was.
Everybody's going to die, so here, let's give them a fond farewell. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, the last episode, All Good Things, still had of the Next Generation. It had Q in it, and it still kind of left a lot of things unsaid and unanswered. So I guess they were just trying to go, hey, I thought they were going to end the season with 2. Honestly, I thought it was just going to end right there. I didn't even think they were going to do a 3rd season.
Well, no, because Riker's supposed to be directing a whole bunch of these episodes, though, too. Because when I had
directed a lot of the other ones,
too. But when I had Denise Crosby on the show for the 25th anniversary of Trekkies, like I had her on and I asked her, and she's like, well, she was kind of cagey about that. So all these daggum actors and actresses who lie to me, Scungy, because we're going to talk about Cobra Kai later, and Robin Lively is a dirty liar, and she lied to me on the air, and I'm very upset by that. But moving on, I know they all do. So another great thing that dropped during the Paramount Plus Day, which was on the same day as Disney Plus Day, was Carol Kane is coming to the cast of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, man. I am so...
I'm not a witch. I'm your wife.
I'm a liar. And then you get Scrooge. Here's a toaster.
Yeah.
Pow! She is beyond phenomenal. She's going to be playing an engineer. So I guess here's your chance to spoil it, because I think the last Strange New Worlds episode I saw was the medieval times one. Because I've just got. I know I'm like behind on so much stuff, dude. Like I know it's awful, but
it's so. Look, they did justice to it, and the end of the first season really does.
Did the engineer die? Did the blind engineer dude die? Is that what happened? Is that why they're bringing Carol Kane in? Because I don't know. You can hold on. Wait, let me find the little. Here we go. Here it is. Here. Spoiler. All right, so Stranger New Worlds. Did he die? You can.
Yeah, he died.
That's what I
mean, it was such a great character, but I mean, he went out well, and it was done very well.
Well,
and
it's Star Trek, though. He could come back.
The last episode, it was basically Pike coming to terms with his fate,
his inevitable death that we know is going to happen in 10 years, right?
He's been fighting. I mean, through the entire first season, he's like fighting with it, and he's like, you know what? This is what's going to happen. I'm going to go with it, and it actually, I think that it propelled the show forward very well.
Yeah. So, and the thing was that when I saw Carol Kane being cast as an engineer, I'm going, well, what happened to the blind dude? So, but now some other cool things apparently, and I guess I don't know if I missed this too in the last few episodes, was they're bringing the Gorn back, and then Klingons are back. How much crap have I missed in these last 2 episodes?
Dude, the Gorn was like, they're apparently from you and I, we grew up knowing in the Gorn as like,
yeah, right.
That's how we knew the Gorn. Apparently, no, they are vicious.
Well, they had a terrible Gorn in Star Trek Enterprise with Bakula had to fight one in the Mirror episode of theirs, and it was this CGI looked like a freaking dumbass Tyrannosaurus Rex with no arms. Can't reach the cup.
They infest people, and the
Ooh.
people actually become them. They're like, it's almost like, think of like xenomorphs.
Oh,
is almost what they
that's
are.
awful and
It's
nasty,
really
and I dig
dark.
it.
It's very dark what they are, and I love the direction they were going with that.
Well, that's brilliant that Star Trek would go that dark. That's awesome. Now I really got to catch up. But this week I binged Cobra Kai, so we'll be getting into all that stuff later. But one of the things that really had me upset that Star Trek Day got covered over by the D23 Expo and Disney Plus Day was that Nichelle Nichols passed just, I guess 2-3 weeks before all that happened. And they had this huge, great, touching send-off for her. And I think the best part was that it was really not just an homage to who she was, but all the things that she did on and off camera, and that the lives and the people she inspired. So I'll go ahead and shut up, and we're going to listen to this.
All channels clear. Nichelle Nichols was a force to be reckoned with.
This woman is a true hero.
She had this air of limitlessness.
She's uncompromising in her belief that the stars should be for everybody.
It's a big galaxy, Mr. Scott.
I have my Uhura shirt on to get a little bit of bravery, a little bit of armor when I'm going into something scary. She was brave enough to do this in a time where it was even harder.
Enterprise to Captain Kirk. Come in, Captain.
She was a great pioneer. She was fearless. She gave me a little bit of confidence.
She allowed women of color to exist in an intellectual space.
We had control. We had power.
I'm connecting the bypass circuit now.
I can think of no one better equipped to handle it, Miss Uhura.
I can't tell you how many people have come up and said, I became a doctor, I became this because of Nichelle Nichols.
The possibilities of our returning from this mission in one piece may have just doubled.
She was so brilliant showing us how far she could take that possibility.
Starfleet, are you aware of our current status?
She was able to use all the goodwill she had acquired and say, I'm going to convert this to real world change.
She went up to NASA and said, this shouldn't just be a fictional world. People of color need to be included.
And I remember she pointed at me and said, I want you to apply for the astronaut program. I never had the sense that she thought anything was impossible.
It is overwhelming to try and encapsulate what she means.
The ability to dream, to be whatever you want. And Nichelle Nichols did that.
Her legacy is turning fantasy into fact, because that's what she did.
Some people pick up the whole country and they just move it forward a couple of paces.
She's been a beacon, really, making sure that everyone was seen.
Would you look at that?
It is an honor to try and have even a fraction of the impact that she had.
The work of Star Trek has always been to make people believe that our better angels will win. There is no better angel than Nichelle Nichols.
I hope she knows that she's going to continue to teach me.
Yeah, forever.
Okay, so
who's chopping onions?
I know, right?
Stop chopping onions.
I'm telling you, man. So look, and you know the crazy part is when she was getting older and getting up in age, we were supposed to do an interview with her, but you could only kind of do pre-recorded interviews with her, and you'd have to send her the questions, and you know, she would just kind of give you a typed response. She didn't do on-air stuff anymore because her hearing was going towards the end. And so, man, dude, she was awesome. All right, so when we come back, though, we got to spoil some stuff for you. Plus, we heard from Scott Bakula what's going on with him in the new Quantum Leap. You know, is he in it? Is Al going to make a CGI reappearance? We'll find out on the other side. Cobra Kai, She-Hulk, House of Dragon, Medieval Times Deliverance, all that and more on The Week in Geek with D Squared on iHeartRadio. What's happening, y'all? It's D Squared, and one of the things I love about betting on the NFL is that I'm always finding new player props or game props that I like, and what's cool about FanDuel Sportsbook is you can combine those props with other bets from the same game to score an even bigger payout. Perfect for tonight's game. Like you can take Kirk Cousins over on passing yards, Jalen Hurts to score an anytime touchdown, he'll probably score it with his feet, and of course, LSU grad Justin Jefferson over on receiving yards. But look, the reason I use FanDuel is it's easy to use. I got a bunch of friends that use it, and I get paid fast. There's no feeling like nailing a same-game parlay bet, so lock in your bet today on FanDuel Sportsbook. If you're new to FanDuel Sportsbook, get $150 in free bets, win or lose, with promo code WRNO. That's promo code WRNO. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. 21 plus and present only. Permitted parish only. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you or someone you know is a gambling problem, once help call 1-877-770. No stop.
Now, from the Gregory Ricks and Associates Wealth Management Studios, this is News Talk 99.5 WRNO. Now back to The Week in Geek with D Squared. Tell your friends. Tell your enemies. Yeah, definitely tell your enemies.
Welcome back in to The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. And I am D Squared, and this is also the show where I hate the voice guy, Scungy. Like, this dude's a jerk to me, like, all the time. But, as always, I want to strongly urge you to check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Week in Geek. I don't think you can check out our website because I didn't pay the bill at twigradio.com, but definitely follow us on Twitter at twigradio and the Instagram's The Week in Geek. Hey, Scungy, how can people listen to this show?
If you missed any part of tonight's show, or if you want to hear Dave go wax poetic about Cobra Kai because he is absolutely obsessed with it, you can always find us on Spreaker.com or download Spreaker for your smartphone or tablet. We're also on iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and the beautiful, sexy iHeartRadio app with that candy-like seductive button.
Well, hello there.
Yes, hit that little red button and you could be a part of the show just like my kid. So yeah, let's drop the seductive stuff. It just seems weird that I play my kid's sound after you say it's all seductive. All right, let's just I'm
trying to get people to press the button.
Yeah, okay, it's about the button. Oh, it's the button. It's the button. All right, we need to do some spoilers real quick. Here we go. All right, first off, we're gonna spoil She-Hulk, but not really. There ain't a whole lot to spoil in this episode. Like basically, it was a an intellectual property dispute where does she own the She-Hulk name? And the funny part though is, here's what I find funny, because the people that have been hating on this show were oddly quiet.
They're dumb, by the way.
Well, we're aware of that. They're called trolls for a reason. But I find it funny that they kept quiet because this was a very self-deprecating episode where she puts herself out there as like, well, I got to win this case. Here's 4 guys that I had awful dates with, like dates of the century bad, and I'm going to like air my dirty laundry in my private life because I used my profile of She-Hulk, not as, Jennifer Walters. And so I think the whole episode was just kind of there. It was cool. It was funny, but it was just, it seemed like a bit of a filler because I still want to know what's going on with Madison, not where the Y is, where you think, and Wongers, because they're just like binge watching The Sopranos. I just want to know what they're doing right now, if they're up in Nepal.
I will
Sanctum
binge watch
Sanctorum.
that show. I'm not even playing.
Well, and it's so funny. There's one point that it keeps getting screen capped where Madison is just kind of looking at Wong, but she's not looking him in the eyes, Scungy. She's looking down south somewhere. And it's very off-putting. It's very objectifying of Wong. I mean, I'm just tired of being objectified by women. So maybe I wouldn't watch the show of Madison. That's all I'm saying now. But the funny part about the episode was she needs some stretchy pants. Like they made a big deal about her fashion choices in this episode, but they bring her to some sort of secret secret superhero Taylor, who is basically Edna from The Incredibles, darling. He doesn't say no capes, darling, but he said it with his eyes. It's Edna.
Yep.
He's Edna.
Absolutely.
I don't remember his name.
Well, Disney owns Pixar, so it's basically Edna. They're allowed to do that.
Right. And I guess, they didn't have an end credit scene, which really ticked me off because they said there would be an end credit scene at the end of every episode. They frickin' lied. They're a bunch of dirty liars. And
But they didn't need it.
Well,
they didn't need it. The teaser was right there at the end of the episode.
Yes, but they could have just cut that out and put it at the end after the end credits, okay? It would have been real simple. Just end it right there, because, yes, the spoiler is... The spoiler for She-Hulk is that you see Daredevil's hat, his helmet, his little face covering, and it's gold. I don't know. It's like it went from red to gold lame or something like that. I don't know what's going on here.
Well, that's another version. That's like another suit that he wears.
Is it like from Midnight
Suns?
Suns?
The original suit.
Oh, I was wondering if it was like a little play on Midnight Suns, that new game that's coming out. I'm just throwing that out there, possibly.
Maybe talk about that later.
Yeah, okay. I'll put that out in the world. All right, so there's your She-Hulk spoilers. Now we need to talk about the House of the Dragon. So let's cue up the music, the theme song for Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Here, where it is. There it is. There's the theme song for Game of Thrones.
There
Not only did Rhaenyra Targaryen and Daemon Targaryen go to a brothel together, they almost hooked up in the brothel. And wait, before you say D squared, that's just way too crazy. They're related. Well, hence the Deliverance music. Yes, cousin love started to happen. Scungy, but Matt Smith grew a conscience and he was just like, no, I can't. And he walked out of the brothel. And so she went back, and God bless Rhaenyra for this. She goes back and takes advantage of her bodyguard. God bless you, Rhaenyra, and all of Westeros for taking advantage of your honor guard, taking away his honor. I love it. It is great. I love House of the Dragon and this song.
Well, I mean, they're Targaryens. That's what they do.
Well, right.
I mean, apparently, from Game of Thrones, it's the one thing that everybody knew that they did.
You keep the bloodline pure this way, okay? I think just Game of Thrones just be called Game of Incest and just be done with it, okay? Because, I mean, come on. You had, the other two, the non-Targaryens, to kick off the episode, that were like, brother and sister, the twins, the twinsies, the rich twins.
Oh.
Names are escaping me right now. So, yeah, Game of Thrones. Now, here's the thing, Scungy. Sadly enough, as we speak, Game of Thrones is airing on HBO Max and HBO and all the other streaming things. This is the final episode of, like, Millie Alcock and what's her name? The other... I can't remember. I don't remember her real name. But, like, all the young actors and actresses that were playing the younger versions, tonight's the final episode. They are leapfrogging forward 10 years. So this will be the final episode where we see, all the young actors and actresses. In 10 years from now, we're going to get, I don't know, maybe like Obi-Wan Kenobi, like, God, what have you been doing for the past 10 years? Why have you aged 30 years overnight somehow? Hopefully they do better than that because, man, poor Obi-Wan Kenobi. I still don't know what's in the Tatooine water because, man, he looks like crap.
Yeah, I didn't know. I mean, it was this show's already, a little bit because it was like from the first episode to like the second episode, it was like, all right, now we're 2 years ahead of time. Wow, all right. Now we're 4 years.
I got it. Yeah, look.
We're jumping ahead really quick.
No, but see, I got to stop this train and get off for a minute because seriously, what the hell is wrong with people? Are you that stupid out there that you can't follow time jumps? Like, I have not seen more complaining about why do they keep leapfrogging in time? It's like it's so confusing. Wow, if you're a moron and you can't follow the fact that in between 2 years, there was some jockeying for position, but it was really boring crap. Do you know to go from the Westeros to the Shattered Islands and all this other stuff? It takes months, people. Do you want Lord of the Rings where they're walking in Mount Doom for 5 freaking hours? Is that what you want? You could get Lord of the Rings again if you want it. Just go watch it.
You are so right. I really do like how they've done that because it gets this show. I mean, Game of Thrones kind of dragged on a lot.
Oh,
this show, it gets to the point. It's like, here you go.
Well,
this is what we're doing.
The
Move
cool
on.
part about the show is that after the series, if you're watching it on HBO Max like I am, you get a little bit of like a little extra from the producers and whoever directed that episode and some of the actors and that. And you get a little more in-depth in the episode. And each time they kind of talk about how it's like, the reason they're doing this is because they're getting to the meaty parts, the actual decisions that get made that turn everything on its head, where it's like, now it ends with, you are going to get married. I don't care who, but then it's like, finally, he's like, no, you're definitely getting married and you're going to marry this guy because you pissed me off. And this is what's going to happen. Yeah. And that sets the chain of events that go on. So for 10 years, I do not want to watch 10 years go by in like 2 or 3 episodes of them going, well, gee, I think the tapestries would go well over here. Let's put our dragon barn over here. I don't want to watch, Civilization, the game, be played out turn by turn and round by round. Just give me the good meaty parts. And that's what they're doing. And so far, so good. I mean, I was even able to ignore Matt Smith's giant forehead because he was in a brothel and everybody was naked. And sidebar, the actors and actresses and extras, they were doing it like for like 6 hours straight. Like they had a whole sidebar orgy going on while they're trying to film the episode. Hand of God, I'm not lying, because all the actors have sworn on a stack of Bibles that it was pretty cool. We had free porn for the day. I mean, oh my God.
Okay, yeah, but here's the thing that I want to know. It's like, how could you tell? Because that episode was so dark. You could have turned the brightness up on your TV all the way, and you still couldn't see what was going on.
No, I turned the brightness all the way up. I turned the brightness all the way up, and I saw a lot of good stuff, dude. And it wasn't like back when I was 10 trying to watch through the wavy bars when you didn't have HBO, okay? I put up the brightness and the contrast, and I saw an actual breasticle, okay? I'm just saying that's what I got to see. It was really awesome. And there we go. All right, we need to get out of here real quick because we got Sam J. Jones. Flash Gordon is approaching. And I'm going to leave us with this fun little song, Scungy, because it kind of ties into what we'll do after Sam J. Jones. We got some teaser stuff from Disney and this new game that's untitled, but it has Captain America and the Black Panther in it and my guys from Hydra. So when we come back, Sam J. Jones, Flash Gordon, his new movie, out now, An Unlikely Angel. And then we'll have Scungy and his pick of the week. And then we'll spoil Cobra. We got a lot to get to. This is The Week in Geek with D Squared on iHeart Radio. Where you at, y'all? It's D Squared, and football season is underway, so now is the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now, new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's free bets back if your first bet doesn't win. Just sign up with promo code WRNO. Now, the cool stuff you can do with FanDuel is you can bet on the player props, point spreads, you can combine your bets for a chance for an even bigger payout with a same-game parlay, and you get paid fast. And it's all on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. So sign up today using promo code WRNO for your no-sweat first bet. That's promo code WRNO. Make every moment more this season with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. 21 plus and present in LA. Permitted parishes only. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-877-770-STOP.
Now, from the Gregory Ricks and Associates Wealth Management Studios, this is News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Yeah, this is Sam J. Jones, Flash Gordon, and you are listening to The Week in Geek. You better be listening. I will hunt you down, and I will find you.
Welcome back into The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. That voice is going to sound real familiar as we go to the guest line to talk about his new movie, An Unlikely Angel, the one and only Sam J. Jones, Flash Gordon. Sam, how you doing, bro?
Good. Thanks for having me, David.
Absolutely, man. Look, we got to meet you about 5 years ago down here in New Orleans at Wizard World, and you gave us that little bumper. And one thing that I just want to say to you, man, is that I've been doing these conventions for a long time, and so many promoters that run these conventions talk about how much of a great guest you are and how much you really enjoy meeting and talking to your fans and putting that personal touch in every interaction.
Well, it's needed. It's needed at my end, too, especially during this time of COVID, now post-COVID. David, as you know, we're not designed for isolation. It's all about community. Right. And by golly, when some of the cities started opening up again to do personal appearances and Comic-Cons, it's not just needed for the fans to show up. I want to be there. I get uplifted. I get encouraged. And it's a time, especially they pretty much know our stories, but it's an opportunity for the fans now, when they come to our tables, to now tell us their story. And it's needed, and that's what's wonderful. And the movie, David, An Unlikely Angel, that we just did for Pureflix, it covers this as well. I mean, it's wonderful how it's all about managing and prioritizing our lives, and what comes first, our job that is a mandatory for provision, and or our children, especially young children. How do we do this? How do we manage this? What do we sacrifice here? What are we giving up? And then, of course, I don't want to give away too many spoilers for An Unlikely Angel, but there's some incredible, crazy, shocking twists and divine intervention. Well, that's what it does when we watch it, David. We self-evaluate. How do we do this? How do we encourage not just others? How do we encourage and build up ourselves? How do we manage life? It's wonderful.
And it had this cool little It's a Wonderful Life sort of vibe going on, because there's this whole what if sort of scenario for the movie, and I thought that was appealing. Now for you as well, though, you finally get to play a grandpa. How's that feel? Because you are a grandpa. So did you cheat a little bit?
It's natural. We have 5 children and 6 grandchildren, and I love it. I mean, that's what I pull from, how I react to my kids and my grandkids, and they give us a lot. If we just listen, which is hard to do sometimes, but if we just listen, it really helps us to. It's an opportune time to really give back. Be positive influence, impact, and what comes out of their mouth, especially the young grandkids, it's mind-boggling. It's life-changing, and so I'm just so proud to be part of this movie. Written by Rebecca Rogers and directed by Darrell Nelson. And you got to see my daughter, played by Jillian Murray. She's wonderful. And Delilah plays my granddaughter. It's just a great cast, and really people just coming together and who are faced with all of these life's challenges. It's wonderful.
So now, was this the first sort of movie that you were able to do post-COVID? Is this the first time you kind of been able to be out and about, like doing a movie set, though?
No, I've been it's been a blessing. Crazy as it sounds, I've been doing movies. Even some of the states that opened up first in 2020, I think even in July, I was making. We had, of course, the guidelines and the regulatory environment to follow, right. But I was doing personal appearances and movies starting in July of 2020. Whether we had, obviously we couldn't wear the mask on film, but right. we had to comply. But it's wonderful.
Now, Sam, one thing, I was scouring the internet to try to find this, and I couldn't find it anywhere. Like, you played ball back in the day. Obviously Flash Gordon was a Jets quarterback. What is your favorite NFL team? Like, do you have a favorite NFL team? Because I couldn't find it on the internet, man.
Yeah, I got to be careful what I say about New York if somebody else is listening. Is it the Yankees? Is it the Mets? Come on, who is it?
well, so like Seattle, are you a Seattle fan?
I went to Seattle because I decided, okay, I joined the Marine Corps to be a lifer. I started playing Marine Corps football, and because I wanted to play pro ball. And I went to Seattle, tried out for the Seahawks. They said, no, thank you, we don't need you. And then here I am. What in the world am I going to do? And then, of course, I read an article on Clint Eastwood that inspired me to go to Hollywood. I went to Hollywood, and that's exactly what happened. And here we are now, 43 years later.
Well, maybe you can go back to the Seahawks. You can go back
to 45 years.
Well, you can go back to the Seahawks because they got rid of Russell Wilson. They got Drew Lock. So, I mean, maybe this is your time, Sam. This is your year.
But no, the character of Flash Gordon is the quarterback for the New York Jets.
Well, they got Zach Wilson, so they could probably use them too. I mean, come on. We got to get you back in the game, Flash. That is Sam J. Jones, an unlikely angel, streaming now on PureFlix, and it's got a great heartfelt message. And look, as a working single dad, dude, I got a 16-year-old and a 9-year-old, and like between living at the radio station and trying to get as much time with my kids, I think this is a good movie that kind of puts a little things in perspective for folks.
Absolutely, Dave. You're absolutely right.
Sam, thank you so much for your time, man. Hopefully we'll see you again soon down here in at Wizard World or one of the Comic-Cons down here in New Orleans, buddy.
Looking forward to it.
Stungy's Pick of the Week.
I am not what you would call a handsome man.
I love lamp. Stungy's Pick of the Week.
He might be an idiot savant.
Stungy. So, maybe Flash could come play for the Saints after Jameis threw, more interceptions again. All right. I couldn't nail him down on what team he liked. I tried. All right. So
he was very dodgy.
Tell me about we kind of teased that at D23 they put out some trailers. Really, we don't know anything about what this Captain America Black Panther game is going to be, but they dropped the game that you have been playing apparently more time than you should be as a grown ass man.
The game called Disney's Dreamlight Valley.
Oh,
now, I'm going to say this. Now, look, when Animal Crossing New Horizons came out in March of 2020, now think about that date, March of 2020, that's right. When the pandemic really started shut down everything, and that game blew up. It went nuts. This is the game that everybody is playing because you're stuck inside.
Well, so did Tiger King, and nobody's running around buying tigers, Stungy.
Yeah.
All right, continue.
So this game is a life sim, and to say it is a Disney Animal Crossing, at first I was like, is that what it is? And then I played it, and I'm like, to say that, it's actually doing it a disservice because it's a very story-driven life sim. So what life sims are is that it's like, hey, we've got a village, and you need to do things around the village.
We need an idiot.
Go. Goofy is there. Goofy is in the village. So you go around, it's like, all right, we're going to fish or we're going to plant crops and we're going to clean up the village and we're going to build furniture. And I'm telling you, I don't know why this game is so addicting. I've played this game for like 15 to 20 hours already. There is no reason I should be playing this game that long. But it's got its hooks in me like a Zenobite, man. This is bad, all right? I don't know why.
Well, tell me how you play it then. I mean, is it... Continue.
So the life sims are...
I haven't played Animal Crossing, and I refuse to play Animal Crossing, so tell me about how you lost your genitalia.
So basically... it's a third-person game where you're going around this village and you are gardening to get you garden to get ingredients to make dishes for people, or you also go. But with Disney,
garden and get dishes.
I know it's weird. But with Disney, you're trying to get these characters to come to the village. So you can get like Remy from Ratatouille or Maui and Moana and Anna and Elsa and Wally and all these different characters from the Disney universe to come to your island. And as you do that, you go on little quests for them. And some of them might be, hey, I want you to help me build this boat. And in order to do that, I need to go around the island and find like wood or silk or rope to make this happen. And so you as you play the game, as you start off, everything's kind of very simple as you start off, but as more and more things get unlocked, things get a little bit more complicated. You learn more crafts, you learn more ingredients, and things get a little bit more complicated. But it's great because you're sitting there constantly going around collecting gems and collecting, like I said, mining stuff and putting things in you're planting seeds and crops and building those. And you're building your house and you're trying to get your house up. Now, in the Animal Crossing series, you have this guy named Tom Nook who's constantly sitting there going, you can always give me more money to build up your house better or build up the island. Well, in the Disney fashion, it's Scrooge McDuck, and he fits perfectly.
Okay, I like that.
So, and here, the thing about this game is I don't know why. It's just kind of an escape. I play like shooters and I play fighting games, but this game is just so much fun because when I play it, my brain just shuts off and I just go on these mindless tasks and just, oh, you need me to go mine gems for you? Fantastic. Oh, you need me to go plant crops for you? No problem.
Hi ho, it's off to work we go.
Exactly. You need me to go fishing? I will go fishing for you and go catch these fish or shrimp. You need me to cook this meal? I'm going to do that for you. And I do not know why. I cannot explain why. I don't understand why this game
tell
is
folks
so good.
The price and platform and where they can get this wonderful thing.
This wonderful game is available on PlayStation, Xbox, and the Switch. And here's the beautiful thing about it. It is still in kind of what they call pre-alpha. So it's not even the full game yet. You can get it, and it's only like $39 to buy it, but it's free on Game Pass. And that's why I started playing it, because I downloaded it free on Game Pass going, oh, this is a Disney game. Let me try it out. That was the worst mistake I ever made in my entire life. I'm telling you.
Way to go, buddy. Way to go.
I don't know why, man.
So it's Animal Crossing for Disney. What is it? What's it called?
It's called Dreamlight Valley. And if you like Animal Crossing or anything like Stardew Valley or Rune Factory or any of those type of games, you're going to absolutely love this game. It is well worth the money.
Okay, well, there we go. Scungy's going to go off and play Disney's Animal Crossing, and he's off to do some chores. I'll tell your wife that you're not available to do the lawn.
She watches me play this game, all right?
Brian Moreno, director of the documentary/mockumentary Dreamland, a storming Area 51 story, is coming up. This is The Week in Geek with D-Squared. I think we just sold our soul to Disney. Let's get out of here.
Listen to WRNO on the iHeartRadio app. Sponsored by Dudley DeVosier Injury Lawyers. Call 504-444-4444. That's 504-444-4444. Non-attorney spokesperson Chad Dudley, New Orleans.
Box tea again? Why don't you try the tea blends from the Viridian Tea Company? They sell blends that are guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With blends like Quantum Mechanics, Caligula's Herbal Nerve Tonic, and Manta Ray Dreaming. Your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coos Mid-City Bookshop at 432 North Anthony Street or online at Etsy at the Viridian Tea Company. So put down the box and order some tea from the Viridian Tea Company today. Sincerely, your taste buds.
My name is Optimus Prime, and you are listening to the
Starscream here, and you are listening to The Week in Geek. Call me Lord.
Welcome back into The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I'm your host, D-Squared. Let's go to the guest line. The new documentary, Dreamland, a storming Area 51 story. I just found out about this because I still use Internet Explorer, so apparently there was a meme, but Brian Moreno, comedian and director of the film, joins us. Brian, what's happening, man?
Very good, sir. Thank you for having me. Thank you and your audience.
So look, I use Internet Explorer. I'm just finding out about this whole storming Area 51, man.
Yeah, well, I got to tell you, there's a little something in this movie for you, whether you're into aliens or you don't even care about the topic. This is, as much as it is a documentary, it's also a mockumentary. And it's a story about a bunch of people that come together who believe in totally different things when it comes to aliens. Because if you don't even care about aliens, this is still a comedy that's meant to entertain. It's a fast 85 minutes. So for guys like you who've never even heard of this, there's something there for you.
I'm just playing, man. It was a very poor joke with Internet Explorer because
I thought, no, but there are people like my mother didn't even, she had never heard of it.
No way, really?
You're doing what?
Oh, that is
no.
awesome. So look, you're a comedian now. Now you went out and did this, but like you've already done a whole bunch of things, like with Funny or Die with your Ancient Aliens thing. When I was checking you out, man, watching you on Instagram, you already had Moreno the Alien. Like, have you always been into this, or was this something you changed your profile for?
No, I've always been. I'm deep into the conspiracy theories. Like, it's not that I believe all of them. It's just that I love to hear them. I love some of these bonkers and crazy theories. And I got to be frank, most of them I don't believe, and most of them I think are nuts. But I just enjoy different points of view. It's like we've become so polarized in this world, and especially in this country, where it's like, if you don't agree with me, everything you say is wrong. Well, I don't come from a place like that, you know? I'm very open-minded, and I wanted to see not only what this community was about, I wanted to show every color of the rainbow, because the UFO community is so controversial and so misunderstood. And it's like, this movie is about faith. This movie is about people who believe in things that are bigger than them. And I don't care if you're religious, into aliens. I don't care if it's me believing that I could make a movie out of nothing, literally nothing. Because let me tell you, this is a failure story, David, okay? It's a funny one, but it's a failure story.
Well, you know, I wanted to bring that up with you, like the whole subculture of the, the UFO conspiracy theorists. But like, I mean, you got to be crazy to think that there's not some other life out there. You know, we're pretty arrogant sometimes, but there's got to be out there. NASA keeps sending stuff out. I mean, they got to be out there.
Oh, I totally believe that there's something out there. I mean, I also believe that most of the UFOs and aerial phenomenon that we see, that's just the government testing thing.
Dude, I pissed off these crop circle guys. I interviewed them about 2 years ago, and I'm like, dude, why would they come all this way just to make some doodles in the field unless they're graffiti artists from another galaxy far, far away? I'm like, it makes no sense. They're like, you just want to be ignorant. I'm like, no, I'm asking you to convince me, man.
Yeah, totally. And that's the thing. Okay, that's the thing. There's so many unexplained phenomena in this world that science can't even come close to telling you what happened. So I'm all for hearing theories about that stuff. It's just, don't expect me to believe it.
Right. Okay, well, look, I want to talk. We're visiting with Brian Moreno, his new documentary, Dreamland, a storming Area 51 story. Hold on, let me... Okay, it's just me and you right now. All right, so when you went to Area 51, like the cops were out there, they were going to shoot people. I mean, talk to me about that real quick. They can't hear us right now.
Yeah, so there was definitely a military presence, but also let me be clear. The government, the weeks prior to this, the government did everything they could to squash the event because 2 million people on Facebook said they were going to go. And if there's one thing the government didn't want, it's 2 million knuckleheads out by a military base, okay? Okay? So they did everything they could to make it seem like the people who went out there would be getting in trouble, or they would definitely be under military guard. And there was a military presence, and one lady tried to walk up to the gates. But for the most part, it was just a peaceful gathering. It was closer to a music festival than a raid, which is also interesting. But that being said, I kind of knew that's how it was going to be. I didn't expect anyone to go crazy and to get arrested or shot.
We're faster than their bullets.
I didn't want that.
Right? So look, Brian Moreno is our guest. Now you shot this kind of like, I guess, like guerrilla style out of your own pocket, man. Talk about the cast and crew and the production side of Dreamland.
Well, yeah, this was, like I say, a leap of faith. This was me believing in all my years of making shorts, because I used to direct videos for Funny or Die for this other website called Strictly Humor, and we did some really great viral videos. after my last one won a couple of awards, I knew for me to be taken seriously, I had to make a feature-length film. For me to be taken seriously in Hollywood and not just seen as like a sketch director. So this story, it's not just about the raiding of Area 51 because that's kind of irrelevant. This is a story of a group of people with totally diverse and different backgrounds coming together to go somewhere where nobody knows what to expect. And so that's why it's kind of a buddy-buddy story. That's why it's kind of a modern-day Alien Spinal Tap.
Right.
And it did, yes, it did 100% come out of my pocket. And I got to tell you, the one dangerous thing about ideas like this is like you first put the budget at 20 grand, then it's 30 grand, then it's 40 grand. Then all of a sudden you're borrowing and borrowing. And I got to tell you, like for all the young filmmakers out there, there's a lot of things you don't expect, from insurance to lawyers and legal protections. But if you can get all those pieces together and find a great company like Gravitas, you can get on radio interviews like this, and you can really show people some cool stuff that's out there.
Dude, when Kevin Smith started Clerks back in the day, like he maxed out every credit card, he called in every favor, he even was taking checks from his grandma and his birthday cards to pay for it because he had a vision. So hopefully this will happen with you. Brian Moreno is our guest. Dreamland, a storming Area 51 story, out now. One final thing before I let you roll. Talk to me about there was a shroom experience. What's going on with shrooms, man?
Well, I'm a very open-minded person. Let me be clear. So
right.
What's right for me and for other people, I'm not pushing on anyone else. But I did happen to bring about an ounce of mushrooms out there.
Yes.
And after I knew that we had filmed the movie, I took them out, and anyone who wanted a little,
Party!
feel free to partake. Yeah, and that next day when the crew is doing their testimonials, I was not there for those testimonials because they had to be honest and real. And you can actually see a 180 that everyone went through. And that change, it shows that no matter how deep in the desert you are, no matter how uncomfortable, no matter how disappointing your day might have been, a little change in perspective can make you just see things so differently. And that next day, you can tell the happiness and the level of completion that the cast and crew felt from the shoot, and I think that's kind of a beautiful thing. And let me I'm going to say, not everyone took the mushrooms, so I don't want to say
everybody was high in the filming of this movie, man.
I like you, D Squared. I like you a lot.
Brian Moreno has been our guest. Dreamland, a storming Area 51 story. Check it out, Brian. Thank you so much, man. Wish you the greatest success moving forward, buddy.
Thank you to you and your audience, sir. Thank you.
Gunjay, we're going to go do shrooms or something. Let's go do that. We're going to make a movie,
indeed.
And we're going to storm Area 51. All right, so next week, where did I... Paper. It doesn't matter. I got some lady who wrote a Star Trek cookbook. That's what's going on next week. But, Scungy, you're off the hook. We can't spoil Cobra Kai tonight. I'm going to leave you with one thing, though, and I'll leave this for everybody. Stingray. Stingray is a thespian, and I am not joking, Scungy. When he waxes poetic and he starts talking about Dungeons and Dragons and his life, it's life-changing. All right, till next time, keep your nerd flag raised high.
WRNO-FM, New Orleans, an iHeart radio station. Available everywhere on our free iHeart Radio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one.